Nerd Confessions.
Incoming transmission. Accessing database. Identification acquired. Welcome back, user. Nerd Confessions will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Nerd Confessions, our safe haven where we discuss our thoughts and opinions on everything nerdy, geeky, techie, and whatever. It's been a week, actually a couple weeks since our last confession, but before we jump right into it, we'd like to remind our listeners that you can follow us on various social media platforms and find various different previous episodes on our website, nerdconfessions.net. I'm Soheil, your moderator for this episode, and I'm joined by Tommy.
Yo.
William.
Hey.
And Ellie, no longer an intern, actually part of the cast.
Yay!
You've been promoted!
I guess I don't suck.
Well, that's good. So, in this episode, we'll be talking about our latest nerd news, and we'll be talking about Ark Survival Evolved, the game preview for Xbox. It's actually on PC as well. And we will be talking about Netflix exclusive Narcos Season 2.
Yes.
Too many N's for me there. Sorry, guys. So for starters, let's see what everyone's been up to this week. Tommy, what's new with you and your froey hair?
I have done... Okay, so basically, I just, for like literally 2 days...
Froed out that hair?
No, the hair has nothing to do with anything. For 2 days, I like binge watched Narcos Season 2, got it done, it was amazing. And then after that, I started playing Ark Survival, and I have not done anything else except that till 20 minutes ago.
That is awesome. So, Will, what have you been doing?
This week, I played Ark with you guys.
Yes, you did.
Even though not as much as you guys.
What was your name in that game again?
Xerxes.
You know how long it took me to like figure out what his name was?
Everyone kept calling you... I knew your name was Xerxes, but they kept going like, his name is Xerxes.
Hey, is Zerazon?
Nobody's ever seen Xerxes before?
I don't think people know how to read.
I guess because most people expect it to be with a Z.
No.
Like Xerxes.
Never been so with a Z.
Well, you know what? Whatever.
I also played BioShock Remastered, playing through it again. One of my favorite games of all time. Fallout 4. I made my own vault and I tested on my vault dwellers. It's pretty cool.
Oh, I haven't seen that. You tested your vault on your dwellers?
You get several experiments and you can choose how you want them to go down.
Ooh, can you make children grow into murderers?
No children.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
That's what I was hoping for. All right.
What
else did you?
This is
I
South
also
Africa.
played Destiny a little bit.
Damn it.
Prepping up for Rise of Iron, and I watched Narcos.
He's getting back in that Res Destiny life.
It's almost here. It's almost dropping.
Oh my god. And Ellie, what have you been up to?
I unfortunately did not play Ark. I know.
It's
I know.
okay.
Oh, the humanity.
I feel
We
so
forgive you.
behind. Like, yeah, you guys have no idea. Like, seeing the group message. I was like, what am I missing out?
You don't even know.
You probably like it if you played it.
Probably. It's like how it's kind of funny because William was talking about it the other day, and the way he described it sounded like The Sims.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to that, just more dangerous.
And I'm a Sims fan, so hey, maybe I'll like that one a lot. Well, I also just received and started playing BioShock, the whole collection thing.
Wow.
So BioShock 1, 2, and Infinite. Yep, pretty exciting. I attended Tiki Makiki.
What does that mean?
Tiki, what?
Tiki
What did you call me?
Makiki. Tiki Market at Down the Beachcomber. I got some cool little tiki stuff. I'm wearing one right now. He's supposed to wear out like evil spirits. Like
The thing looks cool.
I
It's
know.
about the size. It's like really
Go ahead.
a long necklace with a very long pendant.
It's a cool design.
Oh, I thought that was that thing from the SpongeBob show.
It could be too. It kind of looks
The
like
thing
it,
from
actually.
SpongeBob is basically a tiki.
Like Squidward's
So, yeah.
house. Yeah. So then I also watched Narcos. I like went blasted through season 1, season 2. I liked it a lot. At the first season, I was kind of hesitant. I don't know if I was gonna like it, but by the second one, I am in love with it, and I think I want to pursue a career in drug trafficking.
All right.
Yes,
Woohoo!
it's a fascinating.
We'll call you
career
Narca.
path. Narca. Yes, there'll be a series about me later on. Narca.
Norcocoritos.
Narcas.
You have to get that frown
Narcos.
down. You don't have to frown.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. And then American Horror Story, you guys. It's not The Mist.
What is it?
What is it?
Roanoke Nightmare.
Isn't Roanoke in like New Jersey?
What the heck is
North Carolina. I had
there
to
you go, North
look.
Carolina.
I
I'm
had
sorry.
to look into
that? How
it.
come the mist
Roanoke-
can't be a theme, but this can be a theme?
Can you not?
This is just as inconsistent.
The Mist is not like. It's not like a theme really. It's just.
Then how is this a theme?
Okay, Roanoke. It's a colony that was in North Carolina that mysteriously just disappeared.
That was my fault.
Into the mist?
Sorry.
Maybe it was disappeared
Sure.
by somebody that is playing some games.
Someone's
that we
playing a
don't
game.
know. No, I'm saying that maybe
Tommy's always playing a
something
game.
was playing a game and that disappeared the city, like some
Yeah,
item or
exactly.
something.
So I guess we're getting into the mystery of that. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited for it. It's a different approach that they're doing this time. They're doing kind of like a documentary approach, like Blair Witch.
Oh my God, Blair Witchy.
Yeah, Blair Witchy.
I heard Blair Witch is really scary, so I don't know if we're going to talk about that, but I know that Blair Witch is pretty scary, the new one that came
I
out.
kind of want to watch it. I like the first one.
I don't know if I want to watch it. I was scared. by the first
No,
I like
thank you.
scary movies. And then guess what, guys? I did
What?
not receive my iPhone 7.
Oh.
What?
Was it at the bottom of the ocean?
Come on, Tim
No.
Cook.
It's because I ordered 7, not the 7 Plus, just the regular 7. But of all the colors I decided to choose, I picked the jet black, and that's the one that sold out.
Just means you have good taste. Everybody else wants
Isn't
the
Jet-
No, it's because it's a new color.
Isn't Jet Black exactly the same as what the 3GS had
Yeah,
back in the day?
it looks like
Yeah.
it, and I like that.
Oh.
Isn't
I
Jet
was-
Black the one we already have?
No, we have Space Gray.
No, it's like a matted
I
color.
never even noticed.
This new one.
Probably
It's
because
shiny and
glossy.
collects fingerprints.
It's probably because I put on a case.
I remember having the 3DS with the Jet Black at back, so kind of interesting.
But yeah, I'm sad. I'm still with this crappy phone, 5S.
Oh, no touch. No 3D touch.
No,
You can't do stickers yet.
She also refuses to update.
No, I don't want to update it because this battery life's already
I don't
bad,
update anything
so
anymore these
I don't know if
days.
it's going to affect it.
Sick and tired of these
But
updates.
it's cool. When you get it, you'll be ahead of us all because that'll
Yes,
be the top phone.
and then I'll show it off, and you guys will be jealous, and I'll be the cool kid in this room.
You should put a sandwich.
And then
case
we'll
on it.
we'll test it out in the water, and all your guys' phone are gonna die, and mine's gonna be okay, right?
I hope that works. I hope it works. I'm really afraid. When
I have a
can't go
backup
too
battery.
crazy.
Whenever someone says like the product is water resistant, I don't ever want to touch it in water because I don't know if it's true.
I had a
Well,
watch that was supposedly water resistant, and I took it in water and it died. But I think it's because I had the battery replaced and they didn't reseal it as tight as it should be.
Well, we'll test it out, you guys. I'll let you guys dump my phone in water. No, maybe not.
Well, let's watch
Let me
YouTube.
play-
Let's watch YouTube videos of someone that gets
Can
those things
I?
for free
Oh,
first.
Saul doesn't like YouTube videos.
By the way, I updated my iWatch and it bricked. Thank you very much, Apple, for the support.
Hey,
And,
you're getting a free one.
Yeah, I have to get a free one, but they bricked it. I didn't have to do with it. I was updating my iWatch and then it bricked. It turned into a brick.
Wow.
In the middle of the update, it basically
Like it
crashed.
got really heavy. Oh, okay.
I was worried about mine because it took like an hour to update.
Thank you, Dad, for that.
I didn't have time. I had to leave, so I left with it. And in my car, it finished the update. Luckily, so
Yeah.
mine didn't break at
Those
least.
updates are scary sometimes when they're the big ones. One time my phone was doing an update and it completely erased everything off my phone.
How long does it take to do a phone watch update? The watch only has like 32 gigs in it or something.
I don't know. Well, probably like from the ground up, like changing everything. This
Maybe
one, I don't
it
know.
could be. But anyway, moving on. Ellie, is that all you did?
Yeah, that's all I did.
All right, thanks.
What did you do?
I'm just being goofy. I watched Ark. I actually played Ark, a lot of Ark, to the point where I pissed off my wife. I continue watching Mr. Robot because I didn't finish the whole season 2.
I haven't either. I
I
just dropped everything.
Started watching Eureka again. It's one of my favorite shows off Sci-Fi. I love that show.
Eureka.
And I watched Narco Dramas,
Narcos.
or Narco, the drama in
Narcos.
Colombia. I had a good time, and I also just came back from New Orleans last weekend, So that's probably why we didn't record, because I was in New Orleans. So
Always your fault.
sorry,
Jealous.
guys.
Always your fault.
So Hale's fault.
It's my fault. But we have some big news that we had missed this last 2 weeks, and they're big events that we had to talk about. But because I wasn't available to watch them, Will's going to be talking about them. So let it off to go to William.
Downloading the news of the week.
First event, the PlayStation event. PlayStation 4 Pro has been announced,
Oh shit.
and it matched all the leaked specs.
Oh double shit.
And it's going to be released on November 10th this year, and its price point is going to be $400.
Holy shit.
Who's going to pay that much?
Not me.
Oy.
So there's a lot of confusion around the PlayStation 4 Pro, and I'm just going to go ahead and state everything that they covered about it during the press event, because a lot of people seem to have missed this. So first thing, it's going to have 4K upscaling with quality close to native 4K. So it's not going to be able to do everything in 4K. It just basically samples it up in a way that looks better than standard 1080p would be scaled up on a 4K TV. HD TVs will also get a lot of improved graphics and things, and some things that kind of covered during the event were higher and more stable frame rate, enhanced visual effects, procedural ground cover, higher scene complexity, greater texture fidelity, dynamic reflections, super sampling anti-aliasing, and they didn't really state it, but they showed the trailer for Horizon Zero Dawn, and they had really cool hair effects, like you would see in Geralt's hair in The Witcher on NVIDIA Hairworks.
Or the hair that's on the Monsters and Monsters Inc.
Well, I guess kind of similar to that, yeah.
I like those hair stuff.
Because Geralt's beard would even wave in the wind, and it was really cool.
Or like in UFC, where the guy's hair swishes and stuff.
I mean, similar, but this is like the NVIDIA Hairworks is very detailed, but it was only on Geralt and some enemies like wolves and bears. And it took a lot of resources. So it's kind of cool that a little bit something like that is coming to PlayStation 4 Pro. It's going to have better PlayStation VR improvements, which is going to be for HD TVs as well. So higher frame rates, increased crispness of scenes. Firepoint is going to get double pixel count on PlayStation Pro, and it's going to make special effects even richer. Many first-party and some third-party games are going to be patched with forward compatibility, and that's going to be what brings these features to games that are coming out right now, or have already come out, or are coming out in the future, which means that they're basically going to be supporting this.
Ooh, yeah.
Netflix and the YouTube app will be supporting 4K and HDR, but what's really disappointing about this is it doesn't have an Ultra HD Blu-ray player, which the Xbox One HD does, which is kind of strange because Sony owns the rights to production of Blu-ray, yet Xbox One S is the only thing with an Ultra.
That's weird, but is it? Do you think it was
Blu-ray
cost
player.
cutting? Maybe because it's a laser.
I would
difference.
think maybe it is because it's very low price point, only $400.
Well, I mean, I understand, but the laser is the big change there, isn't it? The laser change, because you're talking about anything that can upscale. You can upscale from a different side. You're not changing the laser that reads the discs.
I think it also might have to do with copy protection.
They don't know how to use copy protection on the Ultra HD stuff.
Like maybe with the system they have now, they'd have to have a completely different type of disc. I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm just saying it's probably a different laser that reads this.
I'm just saying maybe it has something to do with that. So some other PlayStation announcements. They came out with the PlayStation Slim, which we had leaked a little bit earlier. The price point for that's going to be $300, and its release date is September 15th, so it already came out at this point.
I'm excited, but I'm not buying it yet.
Yeah, well, like most Slim consoles, it's going to be more power efficient. All PS4s were announced to have a firmware update, which will bring HDR support. HDR is supposed to be on an HDMI 2.0 cable, so I don't know how all PlayStation 4s are going to technically
get it
support that
I don't know
officially, because all PlayStation 4s have an HDMI 1.4 cable.
That's what I thought.
So I don't know how this is going to work exactly, but I know the Pro will for sure have
a 2.0.
Yeah, 2.0. So it'll
right,
work the way it should on that. That leaked DualShock 4 controller that we saw is going to be coming out, and it has the visible light bar on top.
Is
Like
it
we saw.
smaller or smaller than
Same
a
size. It just
Same
has a
size.
visible light bar on top.
Oh, that's not.
There's rumors of a longer battery life, but I don't think that was confirmed. There's a redesign for the new PlayStation camera. It looks
I
like a
just
cylinder.
spent money on that thing.
Well, it's kind of strange because they show a lot of pictures, like even the one that's coming out with the square one, the little box one. But this one is like a lower profile, and I don't know why it's just coming out right
Are
now.
they going to increase the? I didn't know if I heard this or not. Are they going to increase the resolution on those cameras? They're pretty terrible.
I don't think so.
They're just pretty terrible.
Again, cost-saving measure.
Oh my god.
And they have a new platinum wireless headset,
Ooh, I want one.
which is going to be taking the place of the one I'm wearing right now, the Elite Gold. No, the Elite headset. The Elite Pulse is what this is.
Okay, so they're going to change
And
it.
this was 160 back then when it first came out.
How much is
So
this one going to be?
160.
Oh, it's going to be the exact price one, so it's not going to be a change.
Yeah. So the gold headset
Ooh.
right now is 100.
So
Yeah,
no inflation.
so this is going to be the premium, more comfortable, slightly higher quality sound. It doesn't look like it has a bass boost though. I'm not sure.
It's not power, like direct power.
It's powered.
Oh, maybe it'll have a bass boost then. Let's
Well,
hope.
this does.
Hmm.
But guys, Sony failed us. The presentation reception was very poor for this, and I think if they just followed the lead of the Asia team, it would have gone a lot better off. Tommy, play the clip.
So on the count of 3, we will have Oda-san to lead us unveil the surprise. Oda-san, you ready? Let's count in 3 all together. 3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
Lights are flashing, a lot of pictures, very dramatic. He's standing with his hand on a button. He's ready to push the button. It's very intense, guys. Oh, the consoles are rising up. Confetti everywhere.
I didn't hear anybody say free.
Thank you for our media and thank you Oda-san. Please
Are you
continue.
serious?
Amazing, guys. Amazing. If they did that here, it would have been a much different conference.
PlayStation 4 Pro.
So that's it.
Wait, they did it in Hong Kong?
This is Asia conference, yeah.
Oh, good.
Which are the new members.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that was probably the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That was the most lackluster.
It's amazing, guys. Come on, if they did that here, it would have been so much better.
I wonder whether it's just these people like sound like the most dumbest. It's like they would open a box of cereal. Ha ha!
Race to play.
It's kind
All
of
right.
weird.
Moving on to the Apple event. It was kind of surprising. Miyamoto took the stage. It's been a long time since he's been on a stage.
Yeah.
Not
It's-
since
it's doing good.
the Nintendo days where they had the conferences for Zelda and he walked out with the sword and shield. Those were good
I
times.
miss Miyamoto on stage.
Yeah, but now he's promoting a new Mario game. It's going to be on iOS first, so it's going to come to other platforms a little bit later. A lot of people are comparing it to Flappy Bird because you just basically tap on the screen. You can play one-handed. He said you can play while you're eating a burger.
That's the only way to play with
Yeah.
a burger or a taco.
Yeah,
Or your
you can
favorite
while
shake.
holding a subway rail. He said it's like for on the go. I don't know. It looks like it might be fun, so we'll see. It's more like a Bit Trip runner game. If you guys played that,
I mean,
Is it like Mario Go or
yeah, basically
it's
but
gonna be a
it's-
game
it's-
that
it's
people will
basically-
play.
Mario Bird?
Mario Bird, basically Mario Bird. Yes, it's not gonna be. It's not gonna have a lot of
Are there avocados in
microtransactions.
Well, I don't see how you could have very many microtransactions.
Yeah, it's not gonna. It's gonna be straightforward price, no microtransactions, because they don't want a lot of people having negative attitudes towards their video games like that.
Well, I'm down with it. I like Nintendo. I love Mario. So
Yeah,
bring
we'll
it
see.
on.
See how it is.
Is it
I'm
Mario?
gonna get
It's
it.
not me. I'm
Or is
Mario.
It's Mario.
Mario. There we go.
All right.
Don't do that, please.
And then they showed the Pokemon Go app on Apple Watch,
Pikachu.
Woo.
and it's going to be much
Are
like
you?
the Pokemon Plus pedometer device that pairs with your phone, except you can.
Except it's
I was-
absolutely stupid. That's what it is.
Except you can see more, so it's very similar in the fact that you can catch Pokemon and things, but it's more than just a flashing light. You can actually see things. You can redeem your Pokestops, track your eggs, see what hatched.
Sounds like a good data killer.
Well, the new Apple Watch has GPS built into
Thomas.
it, so hopefully not.
No.
Relax, Thomas.
Imagine the
sounds like
possibilities.
It sounds really cool though. If you can watch your watch and see how many steps you're taking with your buddy or whatever it is that they updated to, you can also see the stops that are coming by and not have to pull out your phone and look like a weird person walking around with it. You just tap your watch, accept the stop, move on.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it'd actually be a battery saver if you're playing because you don't have to have your phone out.
Correct. That's what I meant.
Yeah. But, all right. So then they showed the Apple Watch Series 2, which has increased brightness screen, a dual-core processor. They say in parentheses twice as fast. Improved water resistance. Their little speaker is actually they're using it as a way to get water out. The speaker, they have like the speaker make a sound and it pushes the water out that went into the watch. It's kind of strange.
Well, does it detect? Does it detect that there's water around it? And that's not how
I think it's supposed to be like after you do an exercise. Like say you're swimming, at the end of the swimming exercise, when you get out, you like hit a button to end exercise, and it makes it like a sound, and that pushes the rest of the water out. That's in between the speaker and the
like phone, whatever,
the hole for the speaker.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then they showed off the iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus. They're gonna new high. They have the new high gloss finish that Ellie wanted so bad that she doesn't have yet.
It's not that I wanted it so bad. I just thought it was cool, and I just ordered that one, and I guess that's a popular one.
Looks like a waste of money.
Well, whenever
Excuse me.
You know that whenever they add a new color, it's the most popular one.
I know.
So.
I should have
Remember when
known.
they did the rose gold and rose gold?
Yeah, obviously
sold
you
out
should have
and
gone with
gold.
aqua.
Yeah, who would want to buy rose gold though? It's ridiculous.
Stupid.
I
Or
didn't
green.
get up and punch you.
Or like light green.
The home button is no longer a button, guys. It's just like the MacBook trackpad, in which
Is it a
it's
house
just,
button now or what?
No, it is just force sensitive, and it has a little.
Why did they call it the home button anyway? I never
Because it takes you
understood
back
that.
to home.
But isn't that like main?
It
Why
takes
not
you
call
back
it
to the
main
home
button?
screen. It's called home screen, so that's why they call it. So this is like for water resistance. So it's not a button anymore. You just push into it, and it makes a little tap back to give you that tactile feel. So I haven't tried it yet, but a lot of people like the MacBook trackpad, so maybe it's good.
That's going to be great, because the reason I want a new phone, too, is because my home button on my 5S is not working properly anymore.
That's a known problem with the 5S. I remember that. Allie's did the same thing. My wife's.
Yeah.
It has a water and dust resistant enclosure, IP67 protection standard, which basically means 10 to 15 meters, I think.
Yeah.
Sounds like a waste of money.
The iPhone 7 Plus will have two lenses, one for double zoomed in depth, and there's going to be a patch later that's going to have a depth of field effect, which is going to be pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, I think that's really cool.
It's still going to be external, right? The camera will be slightly pushed out. Extruded.
Yeah, it's still pushing out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's going to have stereo speakers on both the top and bottom of the phone, which is kind of neat. Improved Apple Pay, a better sensor. And as rumors stated, it's no longer going to have audio jack, guys.
Yeah, it's going to have that one port that you can have to plug your...
What a waste of money.
Why you say that?
Why are you so
Why
anti-Apple?
do you
Apple
feel
right now.
like this? Yeah.
But you the
Like,
Apple
I mean, where's the what? So all these headphones that people had, goodbye.
No, technically
You
you
can
can still
still use
use them,
them.
but you have to get an adapter.
There's an
for it.
adapter, yeah.
It comes with an
Or-
adapter
Or
in the box.
Eventually, you're gonna have an adapter for your adapter for another adapter, so you can put your headphones in.
It's coming, and more phones are going to do this because it's easier to make it water resistant.
It's gonna be a
Yeah.
wireless adapter to plug in.
see, when you do it that way, then you don't have to worry about water getting through that audio jack. So that's why they did it.
So the wireless earbuds that were rumored to come with the phone are not coming with the phone.
Yep.
It ships with ones that plug into the Thunderbolt cable, so you're not going to be missing the earphones. But the ones that were rumored to be wireless are $160, and they're
What?
called the Apple EarPods.
Earpods.
Well, Bluetooth is expensive, bro. If you want high quality Bluetooth sound, do you remember what
Yeah,
those little
bro.
$20 Bluetooth headsets sounded like?
Yeah, junk. These look like those Q-tips.
And you know that
They do.
Apple now owns Beats, right? You guys know that?
Yeah, we all know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Beats is releasing a line of Bluetooth headsets too. That's very similar. It looks like it just has a cord that connects the two, but it's Bluetooth and wireless.
Do they have like a sound canceling piece at the bottom or something? Because it looks like there's a speaker down there.
Yeah, well, I mean, very similar. I think that's the point, that they would have the speaker down there, and you can just control the volume like you would in a normal headset.
I think that's cool, but I'm worried that people are going to lose them.
It looks like the Bluetooth device part is in the cable in the back, not on the actual earphone piece on those ones.
But I'm talking about their AirPods, the AirPods or whatever they're called, Apple EarPods. They look like you can easily lose them.
Yeah, did you see the Conan skit he did about it?
I think I saw it. They were like wearing the EarPods dancing and they fell out.
Yeah, he took those old iPod commercials where you see the shadow dancing and you see little ear pods in their ears and then they just pop out and they say shit and then they go to the store and they buy more and they're okay the first time, but then they keep dancing, it keeps happening, and they get just pissed off and throw money at the person at the
I saw
counter.
that, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. But of course, it's satire. I don't think really anybody's gonna be losing their earpods.
I hope not. Maybe they'll put an app on it for the. You can put it on Find My
that'd
iPhone.
be nice. Yeah.
You can
Find my
ping 'em.
ear.
They have a little station for charging. You just pop them right in there, like kind of like the.
They're gonna have Pokemon Go attached on it. You're gonna hear the Pokemon in your ear.
That'd be so cool.
You like walk in and you just hear Pika
It's like-
Pika. You're like, oh goddamn, it is right there. Get the watch. Get the
Or like
watch.
the cling.
All right, well that does it for the event. So back to Sohail.
Neil Druckmann, head of Last of Us and Uncharted 4, stated on Twitter that Uncharted 4 and Last of Us look stellar in HDR. His Twitter was then blown up with replies asking for Uncharted 4 in 60 frames per second, which make it pretty cool, which would be nice.
Yeah, some further research on this though. I found out that Uncharted 4 is more CPU intensive, and PlayStation 4 its upgrade is more on GPU end, so I don't think it's possible.
I don't think it's possible either with what they're talking about, but it would be really nice to see.
It would be nice.
I think a
I
lot of
hope it's
people would
possible
enjoy it.
because they do get a little boost on the CPU, but I don't think enough to get 60 frames.
Maybe the next PlayStation console that comes out, maybe the PlayStation 5,
Probably.
we'll be able to play it at that level, but we don't know yet. Maybe they can
I'm sure it could. It's just the effects that they use of things crumbling apart are more CPU bound than GPU.
Exactly, but I would say maybe they can release a PC version would be nice.
Oh yeah, that'd be really nice, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
I don't think so either.
Microsoft.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Competition.
Microsoft. But yeah, they can have some issues there. Sony is rumored to be making mobile games to go after Pokemon Go.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that, guys?
What a waste of money. No, kidding.
Is that your catchphrase for this whole show?
I don't know. Good luck.
I think that's actually pretty cool. If Sony can go after them and put some cool games in there, maybe some character or not character, maybe the characters they kind of like, they can put in there. Maybe a Sockboy app.
A what?
Sockboy?
I don't think it would work the same. I mean, it's like Pokemon now. It's like the whole Pokemon's been around for so long, and the whole objective of it is catch them all. It's like
Yeah,
you can't just use another pair of characters like for like Nintendo. They can't do that with Super Mario or like Mario characters. Catch all the Mario characters. Catch all the mushrooms. That doesn't work.
I don't know. I think druggies will like the catch under mushrooms thing.
I have a feeling that a lot of companies are going to be copying this template and trying to do their own thing.
There was supposedly already one released, wasn't there? Like Japan. Well, Japan. Sorry, there's already a game like that.
What?
Like
Before Pokemon?
Yeah, it
No,
was
it's
a
like it came
Pokemon
around
Go
the same
wannabe.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's because they're not
Oh.
allowed to play Pokemon Go there because it's a Japanese heavy game. It's called like I forget what it was called now. It's like Evolution something, Star Evolution, or Star Children game. I forget what it's
Star Children.
But I feel like there's already a ton of games similar to that too. It's basically just a collecting game. Collect it.
Well, basically, but it's using
But-
Google Maps.
Yeah, I guess.
I think that if you can make a PlayStation game, though, choose a character from the PlayStation line and put it in a game for mobile, that would be fun because people would enjoy it, but I don't know if that's going to happen. All right, more news that we got. The Last Guardian has been delayed again.
Oh.
Yoshida states that it's just a few weeks, but to work out bugs. How long has this game been delayed? I remember it's been delayed for
Years and years.
This
a long time.
I remember when we went to PSX last that we looked up and it was really weird to see that giant Last Guardian thing, and then everyone's like had no interest in that game.
That's probably because it's so delayed. No one even knows what it is anymore.
It was first announced for the PS3, and it was supposed to be like, this can only be on PS3 when it was first announced.
What, are they waiting
in
for
February
PS5?
2007, it was announced.
What the hell? It's almost 10 years.
I know.
So they're so delayed. How are they even going to make this game? Like, how is this game?
It's like one guy working on this
It's
thing?
going to be disappointing no matter what. The whole team has changed since then. It's gone from like a decent team to like a few people to like one person, and then just recently they Sony put a bunch of people on the team now, pushed development forward on this, and actually have this coming out because every year people were excited about this game, and they're all like, "So, do you guys think Last Guardian will be at this E3? Do you think Last Guardian will be at this E3?" It was like the Duke Nukem Forever.
But do you think
for PlayStation?
Since this game is so delayed, do you think that any hype is still alive? I think the only hype that's alive is that it's going to come out.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that are hyped up for it, but I don't think it's only the die-hard PlayStation fans.
I hope so. I hope it comes out, and I hope people still play it, and I hope it's still somewhat fun for people. But I think it will be just fine. I just don't think... I think it's going to have hype that it was released finally, so we'll see what happens. All right, off to some movie stuff, not video games anymore, but Daniel Craig reportedly offered $150 million to play Bond for 2 more films. That is a lot.
I'm a big fan of Daniel Craig. I hope he gets it.
You hope he gets
That's
it?
a lot of money, yo. I'd take that in a heartbeat. You wouldn't even have to tell me twice. You'd be like, just sign here. You got it. 2 years of my life, 4 years of my life for $150 million. Where do I sign?
I thought he did a decent job as James Bond.
Yeah, he was actually pretty good at it.
I didn't
Except for the very first one where he was getting his nuts crushed every 5 minutes. Like, what's going on?
That one was very unlike Bond. He was like seduced by the lady in that one.
He just got his ass kicked the whole film.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is wrong with this guy? Then he came back. What's the not the last one, but the one before where the lady dies. His
Quantum Solace?
Oh, Quantum Solace.
No. It's the one before the director dies and he becomes a man now at the end of it. It's the lady. No one saw the movies? God damn it.
Okay, let's move on. He's talking about men becoming women. Or women becoming men. Shuei Yoshida called out the lead developer of No Man's Sky, Sean Murray, and Will's going to read the quote.
I understand some of the criticisms, especially Sean Murray is getting, because he sounded like he was promising more features in the game from day one. It wasn't a great PR strategy because he didn't have a PR person helping him. And in the end, he's just an indie developer.
Damn. That's fucked up.
That's so mean.
But he says their plan is to continue to develop No Man's Sky features and such, and that he's looking forward to continuing to play the game.
God damn it.
Holy.
So that was kind of funny, actually, like, called out Sean Murray like that, just calling, he's just an indie developer, he shouldn't try to do the PR part. But it's kind of true. He was like out there using his charm, like, hey guys, we're a small developer, but we put this amazing game together for you, and this is our hopes for it. I hope you like it.
Honestly, whatever he said made me really want to play the game, and then I played the game, and I couldn't do half the things he told me he could do in the beginning. Maybe updated later, but still, it just felt like I was wasting time going planet to planet to planet. And I liked it at first, but then I realized there was no end.
I never went back to it. I never got off that the ship up.
That's
so sad, Ellie.
I don't know. Those underground tunnels is what had it with me. I just no reason to go back to it.
I don't like those underground tunnels. Loftus from Microsoft stated that in a recent interview, any games that we're launching in the Scorpio timeframe, we're making sure that they run natively and render at 4K.
I think that's interesting because Neo is not able to do that at all.
There you go. They can't do it at all.
It's, but that's kind of strange that they are saying that they're able to do that, because I have my computer is as powerful as that, and I guess it's possible, but it won't look much better than the games that are coming out right now if it's going to run natively at 4K.
Do you think it can even handle? I don't even know if
I can. My computer can run at 6.5 teraflops, and the Scorpio is supposed to be 6 teraflops, right?
Exactly.
So mine's a little bit better, and I can do 4K, but it's like 30 frames per second. It's not like amazing. So the games will look no better than they do now, just running at 4K. I'd rather take better looking games at 1080p, honestly.
Well, 1080p is fine.
I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't overheat or the fan go crazy, because those things can heat up so quick.
I think they're paranoid about that ever since the 360.
Yeah,
remember that's why the Xbox One is so huge. They put a huge sync on the original Xbox One.
Oh, I know, but at the same time, it's so loud. My Xbox One is so much louder than my PlayStation.
I don't hear nothing.
Okay, that's probably because you're deaf. I don't know if you noticed that. Come back at it with a Jufro. Anyway, The Witcher has its own new postage stamps.
More love to CD Projekt Red.
So, are these purchasable from the USPS? How do I get them?
I don't know, to be honest.
So I really want them because I want Gerald all over my packages.
Yes.
To my mistress that I have on the side.
What?
What?
I was just joking. That's not true.
I'm telling Allie tonight.
You can't even read.
I hope you're listening to this.
That one I heard.
I mean, do you think they'll sell them for a bit more, or just regular postage? Like, for stamps, like regular
They're Polish stamps.
They're Polish?
Oh, we can't even buy them. We can't even use them for mailing.
I'm jealous of Poland right now.
You
Why
could probably
is
still
Poland so cool?
get some. I bet people aren't really using them to send out letters and stuff. They're probably
just
keeping them.
Yeah, that's probably what's happening. All right. Kojima said that Death Stranding will be an open world game with a lot of player freedom, and co-op will be a feature.
So I think it sounds a lot like Metal Gear 5, just saying that right now.
I think it would be really cool if Kojima could promise something that's going to be really, really cool, but I'm not sure what this game is about because it freaks me out. There's a guy holding a baby. I don't know what's really going on, and a lot of dead whales.
Naked guy holding a baby.
Is it going to be about
I didn't know
whales
what
and
the hell
babies?
was going on when I saw the
dead
trailer.
whales everywhere.
So I'm hoping that maybe it's going to be a real... Well, Kojima always has that weird feel. Like every game that I've ever played of his, there's always some kind of weird aspect to it, but it makes the game really fun. So I'm hoping that maybe he's choosing something weird because he's like, hey,
But he's like the Tim Burton
F
of video
you,
games.
Kojima. Let's... not Kojima. F you,
Konami.
Konami. And let me go ahead and put something really weird together that's going to get a lot of buzz, which it did.
Yeah, you don't think it came out too early, though?
I think
thought
it
was
came
a
out
little bit too early.
I think they should have waited. But then Konami came out with a freaking another game for Metal Gear Solid, so I don't know. We'll see how that goes. All right, moving on. During a stage presentation at the Tokyo Game Show 2016, which we really want to go, I really want to go to Tokyo Game Show. If I ever have a chance in my life, I would like to go to Japan.
It's actually not as big as it used to be, they said.
It's dropping down?
Yeah.
Well, I would really like to go because
I would
you
still
get
like to go.
Hideo Kojima, but he does weird things when you try to take pictures of him. New game.
Like running away with his
This is what
people
he does.
crowding him.
I try to take a picture of him with, like, when I was at the PSX, and he puts his hand in front of his face to wipe his hair. He goes, like, he flops his hair to the left or to the right, so you can't get a picture of his face. Does it make sense?
Like whilst trying to snap
Like when he sees a camera out, he'll put his hand on his hair and flops it over, and you're like, you just fixed your hair. Why do you keep fixing your hair? And like people are like, he keeps flopping his hair over.
People on the left, people on the right.
Yeah, he's
People
just
on the
doing it on purpose. But anyway, going back. The Metal Gear series creator made several comments regarding Metal Gear Survive. He stated, the Metal Gear game is about a political fiction and espionage. He continued, where do zombies fit in that world? Basically.
Slap to the face.
Slap the face. What do zombies have to do with Metal Gear Solid? Nothing. Why are you putting zombies in it? Money. Why do you need money? Because Konami needs it. That's why.
Because zombies are easy to put in any video game.
Well, it's easy, and plus a lot of people like zombies, and they want to put zombies with Metal Gear Solid. Sounds like a win-win situation because you're putting two like popular things together, and people are hoping that's what the reason is. But I don't want to see zombies in that game. I'm sorry. That's just me. So I really don't want to see this game to keep continuing.
I hope it is better than it looks. That's all I hope.
I hope so too, but I don't think it's going to be. Unless Konami comes out of nowhere and makes it super good, and Kojima looks like shit. That would be really sad.
that would be really sad.
And the game was like the best Metal Gear game. That would be really sad. Anyway, pre-production on Mission Impossible 6 will resume as the dispute between Tom Cruise and Paramount Pictures over the actor's salary for the film has been resolved. So that's exciting. So I know Alibaba Group was really backing this movie, as well as another Chinese developing group. And Metal Gear 5. Not Metal Gear. Why am I saying this? Mission Impossible 5 made a bunch of money. Buku bucks.
Can't turn that down.
Mission Impossible 5. I don't know what the movie's name was. I think it was Mission Impossible 5 Mission End or something. I don't know what it was.
I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was a good movie.
I want to play it.
Are you saving
Ark.
all your talk for Ark?
Yep.
Downloading the topic of the week, Ark Survival Evolved.
So everyone here played Ark except for Ellie, I believe. But that's not because she didn't want to. She did, but she doesn't have an Xbox One to play it on. But moving on, Ark Survival. Everyone played it this week. Everyone liked it, I think. What do we enjoy about it the most, guys? Leave it up to you, Tommy.
I fucking love this game. I think this is probably my new favorite game of all time now. I was playing WoW. In the moment I started playing this, I haven't been back on WoW since. This has like every element that I wanted in a video game. This has, you can either solo it or you can join a tribe. There's there's actual enemies in the game that can make sense. Like in this point, there's you're playing primitive, for example, is one of the settings we play, and our main enemy is the dinosaurs, and that adds for a cool like hunter / stay safe and survive mode, compared to like you see a lot of games where you're like running from weird alien things that don't make any sense. You're like, I don't understand. But this one, like, you can relate if you've ever seen any kind of like, you know, Jurassic Park or something. You know, it really kind of brings back those memories, and then it has a really big survival, you know, sense to it where you have to make sure your character is, you know, hydrated, make sure you're eating, because every movement you do can dehydrate you, or depending on where you are on the map. There's so many things that make you feel really realistic. So, like, you have to be careful. Like, you can't just be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go to the north of the map. No, you have to have, like, provisions. You got to have extra food, water. You have to be careful not to get too cold. You can get hypothermia. There's all these, like, little things that can happen if you're not ready, and it can easily just kill you. So it's like, and everything you can build, everything can get destroyed. It's very open world. Here, survive. There's no like questing or missions. It's just here you go.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
So
nice.
the game is really fun because it gives you like a very open gameplay style. You can play
just go
either
nuts.
you can either play as I'm going to build up my hut and I want to make a crazy life, or you can play as I'm going to be a troll and I'm going to be a pirate, or I'm going to be I'm going to be a dino trainer. I just want to do this and that. You can do that.
It's great.
If you want to be like, you like Minecraft, but you don't like that the Minecraft looks like blocks, this game is for you.
Yeah.
Because this game, you can basically play anything.
You can build. You have to gather the materials from the resources. So, like, you got to get wood from trees by breaking down trees.
Yeah,
breaking
just
down
like
stone,
Minecraft was.
fiber.
Minecraft, you needed needed some coal. You went down into the mines, or you went down in the ground. You got coal. You wanted
Except this
dirt,
looks
you got
real.
dirt.
It doesn't look
But
like blocks.
Yeah, it looks real, but it's still kind of interesting. But I enjoyed the game a lot. I think Will, I, and Tommy, all three of us played it online together.
Yep.
And we were able to have fun killing animals and also building our huts. I never saw William's
In your
character
face,
wear-
PETA.
Oh, that's a mistake.
Dodos are endangered species.
Not in this game. Dodos
There's
are
so many.
everywhere.
There's so many dodos in this game.
Extinct in our-
Well, it
There's
seems
a primitive
like
game.
they took all the popular dinosaurs from Jurassic Park and put them in this game.
Well, they're also putting a lot more. This game is still in development, and this is
game
supposed to come
is
out.
still preview.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess that's something we should mention. This is an preview, Xbox game preview game, and on PC it's early release.
Yeah, early release.
Yeah, so this is not officially out yet. This is what they should have done with No Man's Sky, is just say, hey, this isn't complete. We're going to add on to this, but you can play it right now if you want.
Yeah, but they're doing big updates. Like
Yeah,
the
these
last
guys-
update was
yeah.
like 5 gigs, so that's a
And it's
pretty
always
bulky
and
update.
it's like 2 or 3 updates a month. Like, they're going crazy with updates. Which is
I
insane.
think they did add all the dinosaurs from Jurassic Park, but I think they also added dinosaurs that we haven't seen in Jurassic Park.
Well, I mean, they have the dodo, which is kind of cool, and they have the giant turtles.
I think they just put everything they thought was really funny into this game that they would have thought it was really cool. I enjoyed that you're a caveman or a cavewoman, but I also think it's really cool that you can also have like really cool clothes that you make yourself. Only thing that there is there are different types of gameplay. So we're playing PvE, which means we can't hurt each other like other players, but we can hurt dinosaurs. There's PvP in this game, so you can hit and attack other players and hit and attack dinosaurs. So it's more of a trolley type game.
Well, that's
style.
where people are like dicks and make you eat your own poop and stuff, right?
Yeah, in that version, no. What they do is they take you and they handcuff you. They shoot you with like a tranq dart, or there's a tranquilizer dart, and you fall asleep. And then they put handcuffs on you and throw you in a.
That's one of the cool features I think about this game is that when you log off, you're not away from the game. You like pass out on the floor, and you're sitting there, and they can do whatever they want with your body.
Exactly.
Yeah, the world's still going on.
So the
and
world's
it's all open world too.
The world continues while you're still not playing, which is really scary.
It's like The Sims.
Exactly.
This is not how you do. Can other people mess with your body while you're gone
Yeah.
in The Sims?
Yeah.
But The Sims, the only thing with Sims is that your character it continues playing as what the CPU tells it to do. In this game, your character is dead basically and unconscious. So if somebody came along and said,
Yeah, you're in like deep
"Hey,
REM sleep.
I'm going to take this person and drown them in the ocean," they can do it. Your character just dies in the ocean or gets eaten, probably get eaten. And the game is really, really interesting in that fashion. But I find the building aspect my favorite. I find that taming dinosaurs is my favorite. Oh, there's also another thing. There's another different kind of gameplay. You can play a dedicated server, undedicated server, where you host the server, I guess. so you can just do whatever you want there.
Yeah, you can adjust the settings so, like, you can harvest faster. You can build on a boat with unlimited amount of resources. You can mess with it.
That might be more fun for us to try if just to go crazy with the building aspect and see what we can do on a real server.
Just killing all the
Not really, because if you do it like that, you're gonna bore yourself eventually. I mean, you'll build a cool like palace, and you're like, all right.
So I think I do like building it with a lot of like scaring happening. Like when me and Tommy and Will were playing, several times, you're building your base, you're trying to gather resources for your base, and all of a sudden, nowhere, a crazy dinosaur shows up, like a raptor for Will one time, and
It kept killing me. I wanted to get my stuff. It kept killing me.
and then it would keep killing you, and there was nothing you could do about it. That dinosaur will continue to attack you until you're dead.
And they
Yeah.
run faster than
Or
you.
you kill it. So
Well, I think the game is great. If you want to try a game that's going to eat up your whole life for a couple of days, I mean,
dude, I played this thing for 48 hours straight. I didn't even go to sleep.
Oh yeah, I never forget that day. I woke up and Tommy was still playing from the day and night before, and then he did not go to sleep and continued playing for the whole next day. And I had logged off and logged back in. He was still there.
Did you eat or anything in between
Yeah, he
that?
ate.
I felt like I was in a coma. Like I was just like, and then the thing is, in this game, there's day and night. So like honestly, I just felt like my life was passing me by because I was just going dark and then nighttime, dark and then it was just dark and daylight and nighttime, and it was driving me nuts. But at the same time, I was like, man, I can't stop. I want to build this. There's so many things you can do. There's so many, there's so much, and the game's not even done, which is amazing to me. There's so many things you can do. There's so much interaction with other people, dinosaurs, this, that. Everything can affect you, and it's just like never ending.
And the games online is very friendly and family oriented. I mean, family wise, there's a lot of people that play with their wives or their girlfriends or their whatever significant others. And whenever you play with those people, you can see that they're like really friendly towards you, and then they say return that favor to somebody new. So
Don't you think about like messes that adds to the drama of the game?
Yeah, there's
Like,
a lot of personal.
Tommy
dramas
was
in this
telling us
game.
a story earlier when he went to a base that was built around rocks, and he started mining the rocks, and this lady came out yelling at him in Spanish, "Stop!" And then the husband got involved later, was yelling at him.
So basically, there's this little like kind of cliffside, and they had a base there, and they were using the big boulders as a barrier, and they just built like some gates and stuff in between the boulders. And so I just showed up all out of nowhere, and I just started mining the boulders. When you mine the boulders, the whole boulder disappears. So all of a sudden, they have a gate just sitting there in an open field, and I just pretty much destroyed all their perimeter. And they kept yelling at me like, "Oh no, my house!" And I was like, "No, I'm mining all this." And then I just kept, and since it's PvE, they can't attack me, so I just kept on mining. But they were trying to attack me, which is hilarious, thinking it would do something, but it wouldn't do anything.
I mean, they're obviously newbies if they understand that those go away when you mine them.
Yeah, I think they knew because they're like level 30 something, so they have to know at that point. They knew, but
yeah.
I think they were using it as a natural barrier and didn't want to mine it, which I thought was pretty stupid anyway.
No, it's a dumb idea. If you're going to use natural like barriers like stone that can be harvested and disappear, that's going to be a big pain.
I mean, they're probably thinking like, oh, if I do that, then I'm least likely to get like the dinosaur's not going to attack a rock.
There's also different versions of the game, so you could play primitive, which is the oldest style, which is you're playing as a caveman.
Yeah, the most you can build like stone level.
You can build metal stuff, and then you.
Oh, yeah, that's
and then
true.
you build metal stuff. But in the primitive plus versions of this game, you can play with guns. You can get like pistols,
Elevators,
things
cowboy hats.
Yeah, that run on electricity. You get a safari hat if you want. It makes the game kind of like a different type of game, but a gun is kind of stupid. You don't need a gun for this game. You can also get a tasing rod in the
cattle prod and all that
cattle
stuff.
prod and stuff.
But that makes the game too easy. Once you get to a certain level, then it's easy. But like on primitive, which is what we all play on, your most powerful is like a crossbow, and that's not easy to kill an animal with. And you have to aim. It takes time to reload. Even if you could be the highest level, and it's still going to be a struggle. But with a gun, you can just sit on the roof and pound, done. And it makes the game cheap. This one, it makes it way more realistic as far as what if you were in that time era, what you would have to use, and everything runs. Oh, and this is another thing. Everything runs out. There's a like for food and most stuff. There's like a spoilage time where things can spoil, things can run out, things can break. So you have to be careful how you use things. You can't just go, oh, I'm going to spam build this and spam this and that. No, you have to be careful because anything you do has a consequence, which is interesting.
Exactly. your buildings run out of time. If your buildings also get wear and tear like the real world.
Yeah, they do.
And also another thing that happens in the game.
And it shows too.
Yeah, you'll see it. Yeah, the show. You'll see the.
Oh, this is the cliff. This is the where they are right now. This is exactly where I mined. This is where it was.
Okay.
Holy crap!
This where the base
I
was?
couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't find this in the game anymore. But this is it. Yeah, they have like walls and stuff right here. Right here.
Look up.
And
Look up. Hopefully, it looks up. Yeah, I know where it is now.
Yeah, I was right there because there's all this. I mined all of it.
Okay.
All of it disappeared. No. Oh god.
But
I felt
anyway,
evil.
so the game is really good. I would say check it out. It's only what, $20 to buy the
29
game?
wasn't it?
29. It's the game.
25. It's a fun game for the.
But
college.
I think you get for the game preview. You're not just paying for the preview. You actually get the game as well because you're paying for the preview. You'll just have to pay another $20 to unlock the rest of the game. I'm sure.
There's also an expansion now called Scorched Earth, and that's like a instead of a tropical island, you're on like a desert barren land, and that's a whole different set of
Yeah,
issues.
I saw that.
That one looks cool too.
But this game has got a lot of funding. I don't know if you've seen them at like PAX or anything. They've got a lot.
They
of
must
money.
have because apparently they just finished a huge lawsuit and they're still going crazy.
When
lawsuit?
would it first
I heard something. I don't know. It was a
out
lawsuit.
for like gameplay, like a early release?
This
When
was-
it was available, like a year ago?
I think
Yeah,
it was a year
it
ago.
was a
when I
year ago.
when I saw a video in the early releases, it wasn't this nice looking. It was pretty odd, but everybody in that game was a super troll in the beginning. People would come over your house and knock you out and stuff like that, and make you eat your own poop. The only reason you eat your own poop is to die. I don't know if you know that. That's the only reason you do that.
Yeah, they added that in there. Well, no, they added it in there for a couple reasons. One is all the animals, they poop, they defecate, and you take that and you make fertilizer with it, so you can grow crops, so that you can take the crops and do other things with it. Everything correlates with each other. And then they were having a huge issue where a lot of players were capturing other players. If you knock someone unconscious, then you can force feed them, narcotics, which is like basically drugs, so they can't do anything. And then they're like, well, people complain saying, oh, well, I can't. I'm stuck in here. They keep feeding me food and water and then keeping me unconscious, so I can't even play the game. So they added in, pooping. So now the humans just suddenly poop, which is funny as hell. It just drops a little thing, like a ball into the ground, says you defecated. You can use it as fertilizer or you can eat it. And if you eat it, you basically kill yourself. So it's like the one way you can commit suicide if you don't want to wait out. And because if you just stand around and exhaust yourself or wait till starvation kicks in or dehydration, that's one way to die. But some people were, they didn't want to wait until the captors came back. So they added pooping as a way of take yourself out, which is interesting in itself. But I've yet to try that. I don't think I will be.
It's kind of funny when you're just walking around, all of a sudden
It just poops.
you poop. It's interesting.
It's hilarious.
It's cool that you can poop through your pants. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, just straight to the floor.
It'd be a little bit more fun if you could control it. Like you just walk up to somebody and like bend over.
You
and
can
poop.
you can actually control it. You can say not ready to poop. There's like a function.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can control that you're not ready to poop yet.
How do you do that?
You press B, you press and hold B on the Xbox controller, and it brings that wheel, and it tells you right there.
Ready to poop?
Oh, okay. So
I'm gonna do that to you, Sohail. I make
He's gonna poop on
house my own pooping ground.
That's fine. The poop disappears in like 2 seconds.
Damn it!
But I was going to say, if you want, I found out the reason why they were sued. So the developers team, which Wildcard, they developed Survival.
Mm-hmm.
The group that developed Dungeon Defenders. You hadn't even played Dungeon Defenders?
Nope.
I played it. It's pretty good. Their designer at the time was Jeremy Scheitlitz. I don't know how to say his name. It's the husband of the president of Wildcard. So he left that company, and he had a non-compete contract. So when he left, he took a bunch of people with him from Trendy Games, which caused a lawsuit between Wildcard and Trendy Games. Because his contract stated you cannot leave this company and go work for another game company if you quit. Or something like that. He has to be like something like that.
Okay.
So he did, and they sued him for $600 million, and they got $40 million.
So
That's a crazy contract.
Wildcard got $40 million
No, Trendy Games got $40 million
out of Wildcard.
out of Wildcard. Yeah, it's just a lawsuit. I'm sure it's like a big lawsuit, but it's a crazy contract to have. But anyway, that's crazy. What do you guys think about Ark? What would you rate the game? How many
Dinosaur
poopy
eggs.
pants?
No, dinosaur eggs.
How many poopy pants
Oh,
would you give it out of 10?
I give it 10 out of 10. No, I give it 12. No, I give it 15 out of 10 stone walls.
It's okay.
Wow. Okay.
Will?
That's how much I like it.
Alright.
I give it 8 out of 10
What the
dash
hell?
requests.
Dash request?
All right,
Dash requests.
I want. Oh, I see. I see.
So
what
what
you-
was it, what was your reason for marking it down to?
Yeah.
I don't think it should be a 10. I'm
We're
just
rating.
asking.
If we're rating the console release here, they need to. I mean, I know it's early preview game release, so it's not fully done, but they need to figure out how much people can build at one time because it lags like crazy. A little bit more of a tutorial in the beginning would be nice, like a little bit of an explanation of what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. It is. You kind of get lost until you start. You're like, oh, so I had to build this.
And a better. The main reason I reduced it down 2 points is the UI for the console is really bad. I think they have a
Yeah.
lot of room for improvement with the UI.
It was made for a computer. You could tell.
Yeah, they have a lot of work ahead of them for making the UI really good.
I think that the game is really fun to play, and if I'm going to give it a rating right now, I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Why?
And the 0.5 is off because it stole my life, and the 1 point is off because of issues with the gameplay where it kicks you out randomly while you're on your character.
That's part of the development.
That is a big problem when I'm riding around on a character on a mount, and I have a very, very normal, very special mount, and I get kicked off the game, and you come back and you're dead. How am I going to find that dinosaur? Your dinosaurs are not easily found. You have to like physically go out and look
it's
for
like
them.
a real world kind of deal.
But they can add that in there, and if your own tribe mates are not on your map, which is ridiculous. If I want to look where Tommy is,
Well,
I
we're
should
playing
be-
on Primitive. Remember that?
I understand.
On Primitive Plus, they have all that
I know-
GPS and
I understand, but you have to upgrade to GPS. But what I meant to say
you
is,
can't. It's primitive.
I'm not telling you that. At least your teammates can be seen from a long distance, even if you. It should. I'm just saying, if your friends are like, "Yeah, I'm up the way," you can't even tell them where you are on the map. You're like, "Yeah, I'm near this tower with a tree on it." Like, goddamn, that's so hard.
That's
to
how it
find.
is in Primitive.
They need to build in smokestacks so you can communicate
Yes.
across hilltops.
You can
That's no
actually
idea.
you can actually make a
Firework.
fireplace that has a chimney and it actually has smoke coming out the top.
That's nice.
And I have that now.
So I give it 8.5. We'll give it an 8. Tommy gave it a 12 out of 10.
15.
I
15 out
don't
of
count,
10.
I guess.
Ellie, if you could give it a rating, what would you give it?
Well, right now, out of 5, of how intrigued I am with it, I guess a 4.
So there you go.
about
4 out
an
of
8?
5.
Yeah, sure.
If you
It'll be an
give it a
8
10?
without playing it, yeah. 5 out of 10.
Well, you can poop on my house, Will, if you want. My house has a fertilizer bin on it.
You guys are weird.
I'm gonna poop there so much.
That's fine.
Oh.
Moving on.
Downloading the topic of the week number 2. Narcos.
So, Narcos, not Narcos, but we're going to enjoy our time talking about Narcos Season 2. And if you haven't watched Season 1, so we watched Season 1. Season 1 and Season 2 are on Netflix, and it's really, really a great show. I think
love
one
it.
of the best shows that Netflix has been killing it with some of the original series. And a lot of them are kind of junk, but it's okay. They're testing it and getting it out there as they go.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
Narcos.
what a ride.
The Narcos is based off of Pablo Escobar. If you read
Pablo
about Pablo
Escobar.
Escobar, you'll know what the story is going to be about anyway, because this is basically following Pablo Escobar's life. So if you ever read anything about Pablo Escobar, it's basically living out his life while he, was a drug kingpin in Colombia. So,
Pablo Escobar.
what did you guys think about it? Don't spoil it for everyone because it's still just barely out there. What do you guys think?
Pablo Escobar dies.
Well, that's a known. If you didn't know that Pablo Escobar died, then oh my god, you guys are way behind.
Yeah, I mean,
Did you guys know how he died?
Yeah.
yeah.
Crash
He,
shot?
he died on top of his house.
No, it was the rooftop.
No.
Yeah, like
That was
that was-
Well,
Yeah,
like he
his
went on
house.
top of the rooftops
Yeah.
of where he was living at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, he got shot up and he fell over on his roof. It was
I don't
great.
think it was on his roof though. It was on someone else's roof.
It was
He
like his,
running along the
brothers or
apartments.
something like that. Somebody's house that he was staying at. I forget the roof.
Now there is rumors though, like because he was shot in the head in the ear, and there was rumors at one point that some of his gang cartel members had said that like there was a conversation between him and his cousin that said that if I ever get cornered to the police and there's no other choice, then I'll shoot myself through the ears.
Yeah. So his family was like he committed suicide
So they
on the
would know.
rooftop because he was caught.
Yeah, so they would know that it was him, and they didn't, and that the cops didn't get him. It was actually himself.
That's an interesting way to go out and think
And then
about.
interestingly, and
Hitler
you'll
himself.
you'll see how it happened at the end. But this is very. I mean, the first season obviously it's about his rise of power, and in the second season you definitely see it's the fall of it. You know, the outcome and the what is it? The consequence of his actions from the first season, and it's crazy because when you see the downfall, it's so. At one point you know he deserves it. But other point, you kind of feel for him because of the way it just all happened. You're just like, man, all that effort, all that maneuvering, all the sacrifices. At the end of the day, that's how you lose it. You know.
Well, Pablo Escobar himself was known to be, the guy who was very smart and very eccentric. But at the same time, it was the 80s.
He got sloppy.
There's a lot of stuff going on in the 80s. A lot of drugs.
Going into politics was his biggest mistake. Even his son.
Well, if he got away with it, it would have worked out in his favor.
His son has actually even said that in an interview. He said that the biggest mistake my dad did is going into politics. That's where he screwed himself because then he was on the radar. Before he was off of it.
You understand that, like,
they put up
I think you
him.
probably saw this, but in this realm of drugs and stuff like this in South America, especially. Those kingpins give back to their community so much that their communities become their families.
Well, they have to, because at the same point, these are the same people who buy from them. These people need money, and it's better to have their ear than to not.
They don't buy them from them, but what they do is that he gives them gifts, so they become his lackeys. So they're like, oh yeah, the cops.
Like he built hospitals for the community, a lot of stuff.
Well, the thing is about that too. I feel like they are also working for him. He needs people to. The product itself. So I know, like in South America, a lot of those countries are poor. So the only way to get out of that poor is to have a job, and the only jobs around are the drugs
and drugga.
And that's how he evades, the law enforcement for months, is because people kept telling him, "Hey, cops are here, run." He had so many informants, so many eyes, because he would always give back. I mean, when you make so much money to the point where you're bearing it, giving some away or making some stuff for the people around you to have extra protection, it doesn't hurt.
So what do you think about the directing style? Do you think they directed this properly for his life? I mean, is it...
I think it was really good.
It's not like documentary style, of course, but...
No, it was definitely a thriller. It definitely had action in it. It was, in an interesting way, it was like kind of third person almost, because you had most of the voicing was from the DEA agent who was talking, saying all the stuff Escobar was doing. But you also got the kind of behind the scenes of what's going on in his life. So it's not always like, they're chasing Escobar, this is what happened on the news. It's actually like his daily drama, his headaches, his stresses, things that happen, the betrayals.
What do you think about it being in Spanish and not in English?
It works.
Do you think that it was a bold risk to go into a fully subtitled show? Because we never talk about season 1, so I'm just asking about season, like all season questions. Do you think it was bold to go that way, or do you think it would be better in English?
It would ruin it, because they're in the Hispanic area. The dominant language is Spanish.
I think it was a smart move.
It was a really good. It gave more of the ethnic flair that you need to have.
A lot of people in our area speak Spanish.
That's true.
Not just that, but like the show, right? I mean, if they're all just speaking perfect English, you're like, what the hell? There's no way.
Or even with accent, that would be one of those, like, are they trying to mock?
If anything, it helped them gain notoriety.
Yeah, his accent when he was talking was like so good, and when he was using his Spanish, it just fits so well. You could feel that power in his words.
But so the interesting thing about this show is we found this out right before we started tonight's episode. We found out that the main actor, the head guy that plays Pablo Escobar, never knew Spanish, actually. He's actually Brazilian, and he learned Spanish in Colombia before he got the part. Then he went to learn Spanish.
Yeah, no, he was still getting picked, but it wasn't really official, so he went to Colombia and learned their style of Spanish, because everywhere there's like a little bit of a dialect and a little bit of a differences here and there.
Oh,
so
here's the weird thing about it, because I started looking as to what nationality the other actors are. I did not see any Colombians at all. It was Mexican, it was Chile, it was Brazil, but no one's actually Colombian. So it made me question, is that the authentic Colombian accent? Because knowing Spanish, I did have trouble understanding at the beginning. It's like, this is a weird accent, but then I caught on. But makes me question.
Well, it must be if he went to Colombia for however long to study it. I mean, and he must know how they sound at this point. and he probably asked a ton of like
Sure, he
Cubans.
did a lot of research to try to at least
this-
have one.
I mean, his appearance was it was almost spot on. You know, other than like obviously 2 or 3 features. You know, him being taller and a little bit skinnier.
White
but-
nose. The nose bothered me.
Yeah, but other than that, he was very, very identical. I mean, when they were show like actual clips of the real Pablo Escobar, you could still, it was so similar. It was pretty amazing. So I mean, to think that a guy who goes that crazy into putting on 40 pounds and getting into the role, I'm pretty sure he nailed that accent down to as close as he could.
So, what do you think about the episodes? Are they entertaining? Were they fun?
I binge watched the hell out of it. So yeah.
So,
My only complaint is, since it's in Spanish, I can't do other things at the same time and understand what's going on.
You shouldn't
that's
be
your
doing
complaint with
anything.
everything that
Shouldn't
has
do.
subtitles.
I know, but it
Like,
sucks.
you know.
I don't understand how you.
I wish I could just
understand the
speak
show if
Spanish.
you do that. I don't know.
Oh, even yeah. I have to look at the subtitles at certain points. I'm like, what did they say? Like, then some of these like slang words in Colombian, I
Colombian
guess.
slang.
I'm so
words.
used
I'm
to
like, what is
reading
this?
subtitles in shows because I watch a lot of like Japanese shows and stuff. That this was like I felt like they were speaking in English.
I'm
'cause I
surprised
was
you
reading.
powered through this. I was like just barely trying to get like through it as fast as possible, and you're like, "Great show, I loved it."
Yeah,
And that was like 2 days in.
yeah. I told you. If I
You
go
watched-
ham, man, I go ham.
That was great. I felt it was very engaging. Like I couldn't stop watching.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do anything else but just watch.
Yep, that's what happens.
And I
It's-
didn't care if I had to rewatch an episode just to understand it again.
And
But
it's all because it's the way his life was. His life was very interesting. I mean, to the point where he became a drug lord from a nothing to a drug lord to again falling from power, which is very dangerous in his world.
Yeah, I mean when he dies at the very end, obviously everyone knows he had nobody left. Everything was gone, and he had no shoes. He was overweight. He had a beard. He was like a regular guy when he died. And it's crazy from a guy who was once considered the most wealthiest person in the planet, because he was at that point he was making like 70 billion or something, some crazy number.
I don't think that's right.
No, he was making billions in that
so.
time.
One of the richest people in the world.
Yeah, he was
At the time, but not billions.
No, he was in the billions, dude. That's how much money he was rolling in
No.
because he was bringing money from United States everywhere. But he was so powerful, and then all of a sudden he just
I know he had a lot of money because
Almost
he was
died
able
like
to
a
buy
homeless
a
guy.
Russian submarine. So I know there was something there.
I'm always fascinated by what rich people do with their money. Like his estate is really cool. He has hippopotamuses there. He had a
a zoo.
bullfighting arena.
he had an entire zoo in his
See,
house.
if I had that much money, my first game of whatever it is to get freaking highest speed internet to everyone in my neighborhood. I'm really pissed off.
Google Fiber for everybody.
What I'll say is, Google, I need your asses to come down to my neighborhood. I need you to start installing that awesome internet with 1 gig speed for all my neighbors.
I'd
and me.
make my own theme park. Not like Michael Jackson, not based around kids, but
Will it be named Willowland?
no,
Willowland.
Cyberpunk Land.
oh my
Cyberpunk.
god.
That would actually be cool. I'd probably come to that. That'd be kind of cool.
Everything would look just like Blade Runner.
But yeah, this is
okay.
this is one of
Will the
those shows
umbrellas
that
be shiny
you
and
should
nice?
see. Huh?
Would the umbrellas be like light up and stuff? Would you sell those kind of umbrellas with the light up umbrellas?
Yes,
Nice.
and there'll be people walking around that are replicants.
Oh my god. It's gonna be such an awkward like theme park. What is this?
It's like,
I'm totally down to
What?
what? I was totally down to, if I had a lot of money also, I would like to buy a lot of tanks. And the reason why I would buy a lot of tanks is that F everybody else on the planet.
Okay, I am gonna drop a spoiler. So if you were listening, just skip 2 minutes ahead. But at the end of season 2, there's actually people wondering, okay, well, it's over, Narcos is over, but it's actually not. The producers have said that they're going to continue until the drug game is done, which is never going to end, really. So now they're actually going to change. That's why it's called Narcos. So now it's going into the life of the I forgot what the
Cali cartel.
The Cali cartel. So now it's going to be about him, and the same guys who are actually who worked on the Narcos are actually going to make a show about El Chapo. So these shows obviously going to pick up. My only worry is that this is going to encourage a lot of people to want to get into it.
yeah, it is.
You know, but I know at one point it shows, very nicely like how how everything can go bad and you can just all get killed and everything can go to shit, no matter how great it gets. But at the same time, I know a lot of idiots are not going to notice, they're not going to pay attention to that part. They're going to focus on the beginning, rags to riches, and go, oh, that looks like the way for me.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of concerned about that, but...
This show, Escobar has a big name. So do you think maybe if
It
they
got
go to
even
Cali...
bigger now.
Yeah, if they go to Cali Cartel, maybe it won't be as enticing.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe we'll see.
Maybe.
If they went in and started making this a show where it's about all drug dealers,
That's what they're going to do.
if they go into like the realm of like what's that guy's name, Rick Ross in the South, not the rapper Rick Ross. He's not the real goddamn Rick Ross. But
Yeah,
the real Rick Ross,
the guy was moving like $1 million a day.
$1 million a day, where the cocaine is like that. Rick
They
Ross.
probably will. I mean, these guys, they're going after the drug, and they're trying to shine a light on it, I guess, and just show like, yeah, it's great, but it's also bad.
The show is going to have a limited. It's not going to last that long because people are going to watch it and they'll be like, "That's another guy that's doing drugs, another guy that got big, another guy that's going to die."
Yeah,
It's going to be the same storyline for everybody. That's how it is. It always ends that way with drug people.
yeah.
They get hit big. They go from nothing to something in like a year, and after that year's over, they're dead. Scarface. Watch the movie. You'll see it.
Scarface, Godfather, all of it. They're just all.
Godfather. His family didn't want to do the drug sales, and then it went into.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, all the crime eventually
yeah.
comes back.
So what do you guys rate it? How many narcotics?
I give it the second season. I give it an 8 out of 10. Out of 10.
Oh, whoa.
The first season was a 10.
Whoa, I didn't
Really?
expect an 8.
And then here's the reason. The reason was because it was actually a little bit slower, and I know why, but it was not as action packed as the first season. The first season was way more. Holy crap! This one obviously because it's like a decline and is not as is less. Is more into the realm of what's going on with DEA and all this other stuff, and not as much as into what's going on with Pablo. Mm-hmm. Most of the scenes with Pablo is just him dealing with things, not as much as the war that he was starting in the first season. So for that reason, I make it an 8. But it's still very, very good.
Ellie, what would you give it?
I actually would give it a 10. Both seasons, 10. Perfect 10. They both have their
That's a lot
different
from a
speeds, and I
film
actually
person.
like the second one a lot better than the first one.
Because
I don't know. It was definitely a different speed of things. Yeah, it was a lot slower in the second season, but there was just something else. It wasn't the same thing I've seen before in other drug trafficking series or anything. I don't know. It's just
Probably because they took their time to bring the downfall. So in every little thing.
well,
It
like,
wasn't just
because-
here's the magic key of
yeah,
him
because
falling.
you're used to drugs, money, this, that, this person dies, this and that. But then the second season was more in depth of who is Pablo Escobar,
Who he
who is
really
this
is.
guy. But you learned a little of his background when he does his visits, trying to escape. All these places he went, all the people he encountered, how he was getting through this. It's just that's something that I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
The process of what do you do when you're on the run.
it's true. Most of these stories, they usually go for the fun part, which is the rise to power, and then immediately
It
you
just
have the
dies.
fall. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Like
it
This
could
was a
have.
long fall.
It could have been a really boring fall. It could have just been it's just I don't know. It's just
It was
something
very
I didn't-
sad. The fall
It
was
was,
sad.
but then at the same time, it's do you really want to depict a criminal like that, and have sympathy? It's that shouldn't be the case. You should be okay, this guy's a bad
Well,
guy.
at the end of the day, you remember, the guy was, all about his family. He
yeah,
was all about his family and just trying to make money, try to give back. Yeah, some of the shit he did was bad, but most of the time it was always usually against other drug dealers until the government started pushing against him and killing him and his people. And then he started going crazier and crazier as he got desperate. Like I said, backing an animal into a corner. He started to lash out.
I definitely see that. It was kind of dangerous because I was taking notes and I was this life, it could happen. Doesn't seem too bad, but at the same time, it's what am I
you
thinking?
want to be a drug dealer now?
Yes, it was what am I
She's gonna be a
thinking? That is not a good thing.
Who you gonna be
That's
dealing
not.
to?
What?
I admit, I
So
was.
you wanted to go from a podcast host to a drug dealer?
Yeah, I want
Drug
to make
lord.
those monies. I got a lot of loans to pay off. Let's get this going.
Oh, I see what
forgot
your
about
envision
those.
was.
To pay off
This is
some
all
student
of-
loans.
Student loans.
This is
Those
all a
student
research project
loans.
for a future career.
I mean, it does give some people that feel like maybe I could sell drugs and make a crap ton of money, but remember, this was the beginnings of the cocaine era.
Yeah,
So
and they
cocaine-
glorified it a little bit. They made it look easy, but they didn't show you just how much time had passed. There's a lot of time passed that he got to this sort of power, and he wasn't doing a lot of the stuff himself. He was like one of the first ones to establish it. There, at that point, and anyone who joined, they were just like a bottom of the neck, always in danger, usually got killed. They were the guy who dies, no one knows who they were, and that's what happens to a lot of people. Now the main guys are already in power; they don't need another new main guy. So,
I think
something. To think
one of
about.
the strengths of Narcos is the characters they introduce, like the lion. I thought was a really cool character.
Yeah,
But I mean,
he was an actual person too, wasn't he?
yeah,
Yeah, the casting was very good. All the actors
For
were very
sure.
good. I didn't find any actor that I thought was out of place.
I do think that Netflix does that better than anybody with casting.
Yeah.
I think Netflix, for some reason, is really good at casting, like Stranger Things. For God's sakes, where do they get those kids from? I mean, they're great.
they're not afraid to cast unknowns, which is
Yeah.
really cool.
And the
And it
unknowns do a
works.
great job, yeah.
I've never
Yeah,
even
yeah,
heard
they're a
this
little
guy before.
awkward. They don't fit, but a lot of these unknowns are going to school for theater, and they're not really doing movies, and the theater folks fit really good in these shows. So
Yeah.
if I had to give a rating for Narcos from what I watched, and I tried to finish season 2, I didn't get to finish it, but
Wow.
not because I didn't.
Wow.
Stupid Arc.
Disappointing.
Hey, I finished it and I played Ark.
And I also went to New Orleans.
Excuses.
And New Orleans
Xbox
is-
Snap.
Hey,
Yeah,
You coulda snapped
were
it on the side.
traveling. You could have started a business in New Orleans.
I could have started a drug business. It's okay. I'm gonna tell you the story of what happened in New Orleans. I was sitting in a bar. The guy walks up right behind me. The table right behind me rolls a fat blunt right there on the table. He doesn't give a damn what's going on. Rolls a fat blunt, goes outside, smokes it. Didn't even care. Didn't even care. And there was a bus that came up while I was walking around New Orleans. It was called the Hustle Bus.
Full of naked Scandinavian
It was
girls.
full of African American people. And there was a lady singing, and she was singing, "This is the hustle bus. It's time to get it down." I was like, "What is happening?" I wanted to get on. Honestly.
What is that?
I don't know what it was.
What
I don't know,
happens
but
on there?
You're going to be hustling and bustling.
I don't know what was going on, but people were dancing, and I wanted to get on it.
It
but
looked like
I,
a fun bus.
I was afraid.
Was
that
there anybody allowed on there?
There was a lot of people on there. I think they picked people up at bars and drove them to other bars.
Interesting.
And it was called the Hustle Bus. I have video of it if you want to see it. But also, I saw a lot of people get drunk. I saw a lot of boobies. I didn't not intentionally seen. It was just people pulling them out for no reason. And one guy told me, "I paid for him. Might as well show him." That's what he told about his wife. I was like, "All right, whatever. I saw your wife's boobs. So, all right, have a good day." I'll never
Okay.
forget. I never forget the moment that we were walking down Bourbon Street. A lady pops her boobie out, and our buddy Ryan, right when he's walking, he's like right in front of him, and then a fat pack of beads hits him right in the face. So like I was throwing beads down and hit Ryan right in the face, like right on the face, like boom. And he
Did
was
he
like,
fall?
"Huh?
Did he fall on the ground?
No, the beads don't hurt. They just hit him right in
That'd
the
been hilarious
face."
if he fell to the ground.
He didn't fall.
Like a disoriented.
Someone did knock over a giant lamp that was running off gas.
I saw that.
And in the middle of Bourbon Street, I was walking. All of a sudden, you hear, and then you walk over and you see this beautiful old school lamp on the ground. And I was like, "What the hell?" And then you could see some guy running down the street. So I go up. I'm kind of, just buzzing it. So I go up and I'm like, "Hey, cop, there's a light down there that's broken. It's running on gas. Maybe you should do something about it, like fix it or turn off the gas." And he's like, "It happens all the time." That's all it is. It happens all the
love
time.
that.
Nah, don't worry about it.
The streets in New Orleans. If you want to have a good time, if you want to have experience Vegas, but maybe you think that Vegas is too tame for you, this is the place you got to
It's
go.
Vegas on steroids.
It's not. It has a casino down there, and it's Harris, so you can go to Harris. We have a Harris in San Diego. We have a Harris in
Harris
Las
everywhere.
Vegas, and a Harris in New Orleans. And it's exactly the same as Las Vegas, but they're stricter on who they let in. But anyway, just saying, New Orleans is fun. Get drunk, have fun, see boobies. If you're a lady, you can see penises because people
Really?
take their dinglings out too all the time. I saw it. Some guy was like, "What do you want me to do? Take my dick out?" And I was like, "Please don't do it in front of me." So I turn around, but people do it all the time. There's a bunch of strip clubs on Bourbon Street, a lot, male and female, both of them. Anyway, if I was gonna rate Narcos, I would give it an 8.9 out of 10
Why
Or
would you
both.
strat 1.1?
because I knew what the story was. They got a 0.1 off.
Okay.
I never knew.
What was the rest of the one?
Oh, the rest of the one is just that I think it doesn't need to be perfect. Nothing's perfect in this world. There's things I didn't like.
I thought it was perfect.
There's nothing perfect about it. Everything.
It was good. I would watch it all over again. I would start
I probably would too.
from the first season, like
Yeah.
start it
The
all
reason
over
I give
again.
it a
wouldn't get
0.1
tired
off,
of it.
honestly, is I got tired of reading. I was reading too much.
That's your
I was
problem.
like, I was getting.
I never
sleepy.
read. Everything was just natural.
Shut up. You can't even read. You probably
Well, I
read
guess
everything
maybe
wrong.
that's my advantage. I can understand it.
I understood it.
That is true, but to me, the reason it got the 0.1 off is because I don't have the focus every single time. I'll be watching something and I'll turn right.
Because you hate focusing.
No, it has nothing to do with ADHD or anything
Yeah,
like
it
that.
does.
It's mainly because there's so much going on in the house at all times, so I'm always like, I'm watching it,
So,
and I can't watch
so the
it.
rating suffers because you have problems going.
Yeah,
You
well,
have
they
a
could have done
cat?
English.
My God.
They could have gave me an English freaking subtitle. They
You
could
still would have had problems.
dubbing. No, I wouldn't have.
Yes, you would have. You know.
Dude, when I watched that one show,
the acting would have been terrible if it was dubbed.
oh, I would
Yeah.
have loved the dub.
It would have been horrible.
I would love the dub. I would love the dub.
I am Pablo Escobar.
Not that
But it would be, I'm Pablo Escobar.
I like that. That's the best. Number 2, get these monkey fighting snakes off this Monday to Friday plane. That was one of my favorite dubs ever made in a movie.
Okay.
Have you ever watched Snakes on the Plane?
Yes, I did. But
So
I
if
never
you
heard
watch,
that before.
okay, so they did on USA. I just want to do this because it's really funny to me. So I was watching USA and it was on, and the original line is, "Get these motherfucking snakes off." No, get these.
I'm tired
Motherfucking
of these
snake.
motherfucking snakes on
Yeah,
this
I'm tired of
motherfucking
these.
plane.
I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane, and they changed it on USA. I'm tired of these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane. What?
Well, one of my favorite dubs is Scarface when he's talking to his friend. This city is a pussy waiting to get fucked. When they put it on TV, it turned, this city is a giant chicken waiting to get plucked.
See, I like those kinds of things.
I thought it was hilarious.
It was really fun to see. But anyway, that's what it gets for me. Did we get Ellie? You gave it 2 tenths. What'd you give it, Will?
9.
Ooh, you gave 1 off. I gave a 0.1 extra.
I gave the lowest rating, ironically.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
I don't know. Even
So
though I
you're
really
like, I
liked
would
it.
watch it again.
I
was
would,
like-
though. The first season is a definite 10 out of 10.
I mean, there's some parts about it that are really slow.
Yeah.
But that's not why I give it. Well, I would say that's why I give it 1, but it doesn't detract more than that because it's based on real events, and they do a really good job of capturing the character of those real life events. So
I missed the fact that there wasn't as much voiceover. A lot of people were pissed that the guy playing the DA agent was always talking over it and pointing out the obvious. I actually really liked that. It kind of gave a cool vibe to it, but there was a lot less of it in this one.
yeah, it was like you're peering in on his investigation kind of a feeling, like a kind of like a little bit of detective feeling, which I liked.
Yeah.
Alrighty, ready. So everyone gave it a good rating. It was above. I would say the average was
Watch it.
like an 8 or something like that, or 8.5,
It was a 9.
9 or
Average
almost.
is a 9.
Yeah, so we got a pretty good rating. So question of the week, everybody. So we're gonna ask this question. I'm gonna ask the question. Do you think PlayStation Plus or Scorpio would have the better sales? And let's go with Will first, since he very, very loves Xbox.
What? I have no fanboys.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I have
I'm just
no
kidding.
Goddamn lie, I
fanboyism.
didn't know
I
it.
go with the best hardware.
that's
Right
why
now
he's
it's
got a PlayStation
PS4, but
headphones.
we'll see how that changes because with the PlayStation 4 Pro, I think they're making a lot of steps in the wrong direction. They didn't give an Ultra HD player. Xbox One S has an Ultra HD player. I think Scorpio is going to put PlayStation back in their place, just like the Xbox 360 put the
Goddamn.
PlayStation 3 back in their place. And then they did the PlayStation 4. So definitely Scorpio is going to sell better, but we'll see what PlayStation does with the PlayStation 5 or whatever they're going to call it.
I think that the Scorpio is going to lack in sales that they think they're going to get. That's just me. Reason I say this is because the fan base that's in this generation group with the games that came out, I think the games are what makes the console, not just the hardware. So if the developers jump onto the Xbox, then you're going to see a bunch of people jump into the Scorpio system.
I think part of it's going to be price.
Prices,
That's what I'm worried
it's
about.
expensive. I mean, honestly, it's expensive for basic people.
6
Yeah.
teraflops. The card for it right now is $300 alone.
Honestly, I feel like more people who are more into the tech aspect are more into PlayStation than they are Xbox. Xbox has always kind of felt like here's a console, kind of like Nintendo. Here's a console, here's games, play it. The tech aspect of it wasn't really that much. That's so important to most people. I mean, a lot of the games and a lot of the people who I talk to who have an Xbox, they're of the younger generation. They don't care. They just want to play the games. Whereas the PlayStation, those are the people who are usually, really intense gamers. They build their own computers too. They're the whole different like kind of genre. So I think people who would, I mean, if you have a PlayStation 4 to jump to a PlayStation Pro, you probably would do it, considering if you like, the whole. I mean, if you look at it, they had PlayStation. This would be like 5, 6 now. So many models of PlayStation, and people are still buying it. Whereas Xbox had like 360, and then like however long now one. It was a huge gap, and no one really didn't bitch as much about it as people did with PlayStation. Does that make sense? So,
No.
What?
I'm saying right now, I don't follow you at all.
I think PlayStation's going to sell more because people are going to buy it for the tech part.
There you go.
There you go.
I mean, you don't think Scorpio's
That
going to be technical
whole
Marvel?
rant you went on, that's all you Zoop.
Let me
There you
just
go.
ask you a question. So, you don't think the Scorpio's going to be technical Marvel? Because right now,
There are going to be people who are going to buy it, but not everyone's going to go, oh man, I need a more powerful, CPU in it. They're not going to care.
I think that CPU is important. I think game development is the most important.
Yeah, we might, but most people probably won't.
I think that if the Xbox team says, yeah, we're getting Scorpio's going to get these games, people will switch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, something I should have put in the news stories for the upcoming game. I don't remember which one. Oh, it's for Skyrim. The developer, Bethesda, wants to put mods in there, but PlayStation just went up and said no mods.
See, that's a pain because mods in
Xbox
Bethesda
does
games,
it.
I know Xbox does it, but Xbox does it probably because they say we want to allow that. They're trying to gain the indie developer back, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll let you mod up and do something crazy."
Well, they're doing a good job at it so far.
Xbox does do things right, but Xbox,
we're playing Ark on what platform? Because it's
Xbox.
on early preview.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
But my thing is, Xbox on their initial preview, initial talk about this new generation Xbox One versus PlayStation messed up. What is it? How do you say they proverbially cooked their goose, and they messed up their whatever their thing for Xbox One which really messed up this generation for them.
Yeah.
They said all these we're gonna check. You have to be on internet to play your games and this and that.
Well, it's kind of like a circle. Whoever's on top gets an attitude, fucks up, and then takes it back to the fans. And then they get an attitude when they get a really big success. And then they get put back in their place and take it back to the fans. It's always this way.
Yeah, Ellie, what do you think?
I think whoever has the better marketing campaign will win.
All right.
What?
No, seriously. I mean, it's whoever makes it more appealing.
Whoever
and
has the
people will
most
buy it.
strippers wins.
I honestly think that
So you're basically saying Scorpio, since right now the consensus is that PlayStation 4 Pro is very confusing, and a lot of people understand
Sure.
Scorpio from
Yes.
that little presentation they did.
whichever it is, yes, I do believe that. Because I feel like most of the time people just want to play games. They don't want... I mean, there's that portion of people that get to the technical portions of the console, but then there's the other ones, which I think is more dominant. It's like, I just want to play games. I don't care. Just
That's
give
me.
me what I like to see.
Yep. What I like to play, but look better.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's whoever has the best marketing campaign and sells it really well will win.
Whoever can make Arc not lag, I'm buying your console.
Man, that'd be crazy.
That'd be nuts.
I want to see. I don't actually. If I had
no lag on Arc. Can
if
you
I had
imagine?
a better PC, I would probably play Arc on PC personally. That's just me. Anyway, moving on. If I had a choice, I mean, if I was gonna say anything, I think that PlayStation's not gonna win this next gen. But that's just me. It's gonna go back and forth. We'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, there was a rumor PlayStation 5 is going to be in 2018.
so then,
Which would make sense because it's not too far away from now.
That's
It's not
stupid.
too close.
They need to stop acting like they're Apple.
Well, it's not too
Give
close.
people time.
It's not too close to now. It's a decent amount of time to enjoy your PlayStation
what was
Pro.
PlayStation 4? When was that released? PlayStation 4 was released on November 29th, 2013 in Japan, and 22nd on the 2014. So
Wait,
it's already
what?
been.
No, it was released November 15th in North America in 2013.
Sorry, then November.
It's still very not too
Oh yeah, sorry, North America. I read it wrong. North America is November 15, 2013. EU was November 29th, 2013. Japan was February 22nd, 2014. Which
So this is 3 years later. I mean,
3 years later, and then
if we're not talking about last generation,
Yeah.
the 360 and PS3, that's a normal-ish time. It's
Oh.
usually 3 to 4 years.
Do you remember how excited I was? Do you guys remember how exciting it was to get PlayStation 4? I was
Nope.
so excited. Man,
Because I don't have one.
I
That's
didn't-
exciting.
The only thing that was
Changed my
sad,
life.
sad story was when I got that PlayStation 4, I was out of town. I was in Florida. And all I remember
Never in
is
town.
I wanted to come home and I wanted to open it. But when I got home, it was already open and hooked up and played with already. And
Stupid Suha.
my brother took it and played it already. I was so angry. I was going to shank somebody with a spoon. Well, that wraps up this week's Confessions. Join us next week for more discussions and opinions on things that pique our interest. If you have any confessions you would like us to discuss, feel free to send it our way. As always, we thank you for listeners, for following and tuning in and supporting us. If you want to share us, like us, review us, whatever you want to do, every bit helps. Check us out on our Facebook, check us out on YouTube, check us out on everything. We're on everything. And don't forget, you can find our previous episode and bonus content on our website, nerdconfessions.net. That's a .net, not .com, baby. This is Nerd Confessions, signing out.
See you later, everybody.
Bye.
I'm
he
no
says
longer
bye.
an intern. Sorry.
Ellie got a raise, 20
Yeah.
cents.
Yeah, I'm actually getting paid this time, actually.
20 cents, 20 cents. That's $1 in 5 hours.
Logging out of Nerd Confessions. Connections terminated. Transmission over.